Hello, good morning. Good morning. My apologies, guys. Yesterday, um, I did a live video on TikTok and I didn't end that live video early. So, that's why I'm a little bit late here. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Um, let's see. I think I need to share the link on YouTube. And sorry, I need to share the link on Facebook. Good morning, guys. How are you? Um, so let me see if I can do sharing of the link. And but guys, how are you doing? My apologies. Guys, when you come in, please leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Uh, sorry that, for any inconveniences that has occurred. Hi, Priscilla. How are you? Guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? It's been a while since I came on YouTube. And so today I'm here and I miss you guys here on YouTube. If you haven't been on Facebook and seeing the videos and the interactions on Facebook, please get over there because there's been amazing things happening on Facebook, the Facebook page. I've been sharing it like interview experiences on Facebook, interaction. Hi, Ali. How are you? How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm so sorry, guys. You know, I said I was going to start like on 6 o'clock. Now it's 7 o'clock here, and I'm sure the time is a little bit late in your country. So I'm so sorry. It's probably maybe 2 o'clock in Kenya. So guys, forgive me. I need to share the link so that on Facebook so that those who need to join in, they can also join in. Guys, just give me a moment, okay? Give me a moment to get it done. But how are you? Please leave a comment at Dabia TV. How are you? How are you? How are y'all doing? Guys, how are you doing? It's early morning here in Texas. Um, and guys, I haven't even stepped out, so I don't know how the weather looks like outside, but it's morning here in Texas. Um, how are you doing? How's everything going for everybody? How's everything? How are you doing? How are you doing, guys? Um, Oh, Ahmed, how are you? How are you? Guys, when you come in, let me know where you're watching from. When you come in, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know exactly where you're watching from, okay? I'm streaming live from Texas, USA. And so I want to know where you two you're watching from. Please, when you come in, click the thumbs up button, the like button, okay? It will help with the algorithm. Also, leave a comment. Hi, Patrick. How are you? Hi, Patrick. How are you? I think I remember your name. How are you, Patrick? Guys, how are you doing? How are you doing? Today, we're just going to have question and answers section. We're going to have question and answers section. And so when you ask a question, I'll just, answer them. Ahmed, you're in Somalia. Oh, it's afternoon over there. It's early morning here. Early morning, early bird. Okay. On weekends, people don't really wake up early. So that is the vibe in America right now, except those who have to go to work. Probably they've gone for work right now. But yesterday I was supposed to come in early, but yesterday I had a live video on a live session on TikTok, and so it took longer than I needed to. So it went into my sleep time. So my apologies, guys. So today we're going to talk about the diversity visa lottery. As you guys know, it is the main topic of discussion because another season is about to start. When I say another season, we're talking about another, group of people, another year group for the DV program going to start in October. So it has been, a major topic in discussion among people who are hoping to come to America. Whenever I don't know how long it's going to take, some people, but hey, we cannot just give up. We always have to give our best shot. Okay, guys, when you come in, let me know where you're watching from. click the thumbs up button, the thumbs up button, click on that. But guys, I'm so sorry. My apologies if you're not coming in. My apologies for the late start of the show. But so let's go right to it. Guys, it's been a while since I came on YouTube to, do a live video. I've been so busy on Facebook making great content, but still I upload video here. But just coming here on live to meet you, it has been a little while. Okay, so we're going to talk about various things. If you have a question, don't hesitate to post your question in the comment section, and then I'll address it. But today we're going to talk about, a little bit of everything. The first thing that I'll talk about will be DV 2022. Now, today, looking at where we are at right now, we are almost to the end of the journey, okay? And some people are still wondering, like, would there even be any more second notification letter? Yes, there is going to be second notification letter, but whether it may be from your country or not, that one I cannot predict. Okay, I remember last year, DV 2021, on September 2nd, people received their second notification letter on September 2nd. Okay, there were people who attended their interview September 26th, September 15, September 19, even somebody got their visa on September 30th. So I would say that if you're still, waiting for your second notification letter or interview letter, I would say that just hang in there. Don't give up completely. Hi, IJ Joseph. How are you? You're watching live from Ghana. If you're still waiting for your appointment letter, your interview letter, I would say that just don't give up until September 30th has passed. Okay? Don't give up until September 30th has passed. We haven't got to the end of September 30th. So personally, I will not tell you to give up, okay? Also, those of you who are waiting for your interview or who have been scheduled for your interview in September, please make sure that this is a very critical time. Very critical. Guys, if you make any mistake and you go into AP, that might be the end of it for you. Remember that the embassy is, at this point, many of the embassies are going to scramble to get as many as they can. Okay, they're going to process and interview as many people as they can actually handle. Hi, Mommy, I could see a favor. How are you? So when you go for interview and you don't bring all the required documents, then it's going to be a problem. Isaac, you said here around 11 and you are, oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is 7:13 in Texas, Central US time. So if you get an interview from this time to September 30th, please make sure that you are prepared. If you make any silly mistake, I'm using the word silly for a purpose. If you make a silly mistake, meaning that this is something that you have heard me talk about, you have heard others talk about, that please, when you're going, take these documents. When you're going, if you have this situation, prepare well. If you have this, take this. And you go empty-handed. You go without the things that we have talked about so many times. That is the silly mistake. If you know you have been divorced before, you go for the interview and you leave your divorce certificate because now you are newly married, that is going to be a problem. Okay? So please prepare well. If you don't prepare well, from now to September 30th, they might not get to you because the embassy will be more focused on conducting interviews, not dealing with your AP matter. They will, but I'm just saying, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where your case might be overlooked because they're focusing on the people who can actually, conduct their interview and, pass and go. Okay? So please, somebody went for interview and the next day, the visa was printed. Somebody went for interview, was approved, they said the day of the interview, and then it was issued the next day. So please, that should tell you that if you get into administrative processing for the longer period of time, like you go for the interview and they put you in AP, and for some reason they need some documents from you, they need to review certain things, nobody can predict how long it will take. So please just avoid that situation. Avoid ending up in administrative processing, because they don't it might take longer, and it might bleed into October. And if by October you don't have your visa and your DV 2022, then that's the end of it. Okay, you know that as this year they have, issued more visas than they did last year. By June, from the July statistics that I shared video on, if you haven't seen it, please go and see it on my channel here. The July statistics that I shared, the total is over 30,000 visas have been issued. Remember last year, it was around 18,000. This year, 30,000 so far. They have, done August. We haven't received the official August numbers. So if I were you and preparing for interview DV 2022, please prepare. Guys, if you have a question, just put it in and I'll answer you. Oh, Isaac, I mentioned yesterday that I will be coming here. I mentioned yesterday that I will be coming here today. I mentioned it maybe the time that you came on the TikTok. I didn't I had finished talking about it. But yeah, I mentioned it all over Facebook, and I'm a little bit even late here. But thank you so much for making it up here. But guys, let me go on to other matters. So guys, this is very important. Make sure that you are prepared. If you're DV 2022, please prepare, because when you leave a single document there, that could be the end of it. The tiniest mistake that you make, that could be the end of the journey. Okay, because when they put you in AP, who knows, 3 months or 2 months, they may not be attending to you. And we have only about 1 month left. So if they put you in AP for 3 months, then you know that you forget everything, like forget the matter. It is over, right? So that's why you don't want to put yourself there. You have been here since the beginning of the journey, and you have seen videos, you have read other people's questions, asking certain things, and we've answered them. Sometimes when somebody asks a question and it may apply to you, take some of the advice. Don't just sit there and say that, oh, me, I'm not the one who asked. They are the ones who ask. What if it applies to you and you go to interview and you mess up, right? Because it can be very frustrating if me personally, I've told you things and you decide not to do them. You go for an interview and you make the same mistakes that I have been warning you about. Honestly, it frustrates me a lot. It annoys me that you don't listen, and you've gone and allowed this to happen, and now you want me to help you out. Okay, so please, let's do the right thing so that we can avoid you coming back after your interview and trying to find somebody to help you. Look for lawyers, if you would do what you need to do, you wouldn't have to do all of that. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the passport requirement. If you have seen some of the videos that I've made, I've talked about the passport requirement in at least 3 videos. I've talked about it on TikTok. I've talked about it on some of my live videos on Facebook. So today I'm going to clarify the passport requirement, because many of you guys are receiving information from different people, different places. So multiple sources telling you that the passport requirement, there will be no passport. Some people are saying there will be. And so let me tell you my opinion, okay? So this year, February 2022, federal court judge removed the passport requirement for the previous applicants, not those of you who are going to apply in the future. So in February, the federal court judge removed the passport requirement for those who had applied for the lottery the last 3 years. He didn't say in the future, for the last 3 years. So that was DV 2020, DV 2021, DV 2020, 2021. Sorry, it's like I'm way ahead of myself. Up to DV 2023. So DV 2021, DV 2022, and DV 2023. So it was for the last 3 years batch. Okay. So those people who did not use the right passport, Those the people who use like the expired passport, people who didn't use passport, people who claimed that they had exemption, the federal court judge apply the judgment to those people. He didn't say that for the future. Okay. Now, some people are wondering, like, so would the this year lottery, would they have the passport requirement? The reason why I am a little bit on the fence is that you ask, so how was even the federal judge able to, get State Department to remove the requirement? You went for your passport, but oh, okay, okay, okay. That's awesome, Isaac. That's awesome that you have your passport. So when State Department applied the passport requirement, State Department did not go through the proper procedure for announcing a new rule. Remember, in the DV lottery, this was something, the DV lottery program was something that is an act. It is like a law that was established by Congress. Okay? There are steps for any government entity, a government ministry, like in Africa we call them Ministry of Defense, Ministry of that. State Department in Africa, we would have called it Ministry of Homeland Security, right? But in America, we use the department. So when State Department wanted to add the passport requirement, they had to go through rule making process. Please, if you want to look into rule making process, when you go to Google, just type rule making process for US federal government. There is a whole PDF. It will tell you the steps that they need to follow. But one of the important steps in rule making process is that for State Department to have included the passport requirement, they needed to publish that this is what we are going to do. They needed to give people 30 days or 60 days period for people to respond. Okay. Hi, Victoria. Okay, let me see. Victoria, I missed your question a little bit, but just give me a moment to wrap this point up. Okay. So the State Department, if they wanted to make a rule in their process requiring, so making a rule means that you are putting some requirements in place and you want others to be to obey the requirement, and if they don't, you're going to punish them by that. So State Department had to publish it for 30 to 60 days. So the State Department could use 30 days or 60 days to make the publications and allow people to comment, people who are going to be affected by the rule to comment. So state US government departments, like ministries as we say in Africa, they are supposed to publish it in the Federal Register. Federal Register is like the federal newspaper, okay? So they publish it. So if any US government agency is making rule changes, they need to publish it there. So the agency can choose to do 30 days or they can choose to do 60 days. If the rule making is very complicated, if they are adding something that's complicated, then they will do 60 days. But if it's simple, they do 30 days. So State Department had the option to choose 30 days or 60 days, but they didn't do any of them. Because they did not do any of them, that is why the federal judge stood on just that mistake that State Department didn't do, mistake that State Department did to apply the rule that you didn't follow the correct process. You were supposed to publish the thing. You didn't publish for 30 days or 60 days. So you cannot punish people for not obeying it. You didn't give them enough time to prepare for that. So that is why the rule, the passport requirement was removed. Now, from now to October, let's say October 1st. From now to October 1st, do we have 30 days in there? Yes. From today to October 1st, how many days do we have? We have more than 30 days there. So State Department, within even this period before we start the DV lottery, they can publish it because they still have 30 days. So I took a moment to check the Federal Register. Guys, sometimes when you have time, you can go and read some of this. I don't know if I can share my screen with you. I'm going to try to flip my I'm going to try to flip my so this is the Federal Register, and let me read some of the publications that they've done this year. Okay, so for diversity visa immigrant, they publish on June 10th. They published on June 10th that so this rule is going to be effective June 10th. They said that in response to the federal the judgment in February, they have removed the passport requirement. But for me, so that would be like a good news for many people. It's like, oh, they've removed the passport requirement. But guys, remember, we have 30 days. We have at least 30 days. From now to October, we still have 30 days. So the State Department can go back and publish another one and say that we've given you people ample time, because 30 days. They only need 30 days to make that publication. From now to October 1st, they have 30 days. So State Department, between now and October 1st, they can publish and still be within the requirement, and they'll be fine. So for me, if you are asking me right now, will passport requirement be in place? Will they ask for passport or not? Because State Department still has ample time. They are within regulation. If they want to ask for it, they can still do the publications like they've done and get away with it. So if you ask me, I will tell you that I don't know, because they still have the 30 days period to make the requirement. They still have enough time to make the requirement. So if you ask me right now, I will tell you that please get your passport ready. Get your passport ready, because since they have 30 days, time, if you wait so long and they do it, they go ahead and make the publications, and you said, oh, they are not going to require passport, and now they require passport. What would you do? So when we get to a point where we have less than 30 days and State Department has still not published in the Federal Register about their intention to require passport, then guys, I will let you guys know that, hey, now we have less than 30 days. State Department hasn't published anything, so they cannot use the passport requirement. Okay? But if you ask me right now, since they still have 30 days, over 30 days from now to October 1st, we still have over 30 days, right? So I will not say that they will not require what they will require, because they still can start they can start on Monday. They can start on Monday and get it done. So please just be careful, okay? Alexander, you said so far how many visas have been issued total out of the so if you're looking at the official statistics, okay, the official statistics hasn't released the numbers for August. I know that there have been some websites that have been generating their own numbers, but for me, I can only tell you about the official approved numbers. So when I talk about the official approved numbers, these are numbers that are available on the State Department website, and they are available on Department of Homeland Security's website, okay? So the official numbers will give you the numbers up to July. It doesn't count, it hasn't given August, because August has not ended. So I don't have the August number. When you go to State Department website, it hasn't published the official August number. Guys, know that sometimes the numbers can change a little bit. Okay? The numbers can change a little bit. But so far, they have issued as of July ending, they have issued over 30,000. It's 30,520. Okay? My mind may be a little bit off on the whether it's 30,500 and something. Okay, so that is the number of visas they have issued as of July ending, July 31st. Okay, so that does not include August. You know that so far some people have gone for interview in August, many people have gone for interview in August and all that. So we don't have August yet. But like I said, some people cite and they've been able August and September yet. But we have July all the way through October 1st last year. and so far that number is 30,500, and I believe 520. Okay, yeah. So if you're somebody who is really worried about that, and you have your interview coming up, that is a good thing for you to tell you that you should, not play with your process. Okay, be very organized, prepare very well, so that when you go, things will be in, Victoria. Let me see. You said they keep giving you another days, even when your days are due. How are you assured to receive the passport on the collection date? Victoria. Yeah, I know the situation in Ghana. Ghana, when you're getting a passport, is such a big deal. But all that I can tell you is that from now to October, the beginning of the DV lottery season is going. We have a little bit of time, so continue applying pressure. Okay. Yes. Yes, continue to apply pressure. Continue to apply pressure, okay? Continue to apply pressure, and see if you can get it, all right? If if we get to a point where we are less than 30 days and State Department has not published anything, then that is good news for us, okay? When you go to the Federal Register again, state there's another proposal that they made, another publication that they did this year. It was in, let's see, they gave a 30-day notice of proposed information collection using the electronic diversity visa entry form. Okay, there wasn't much of a detail on the information that they are going to collect. Okay, there wasn't much of a detail on the type of information that they're going to collect. But guys, let me tell you something. This is something to let everybody to know that this is something for everybody to know that when you apply for the DV lottery, be very careful. The information that you're going to keep on the DV lottery form, the information that you're going to enter, they are going to store that information. They are not going to throw it away. So be very careful when you apply for the green card lottery or the diversity visa lottery or the visa lottery. Please be very honest there. They don't throw that information. They save it. There have been some people who have been refused visa because they reference the other application that they did. State Department has this year, January, February, March, April, May. So in May, yes, I had to do that count just to make sure. In May this year, State Department proposed that they will be for the collection of information using the DV lottery entry form. So that should tell you that they didn't specify that this is the type of it. So that should tell you that every information that you enter in your DV lottery form, they are going to start saving them. They are not going to throw them away. Okay, so be very careful. Those of you who apply and you want to apply with your sister's children, your brother's children, your somebody's children, your sisters as your wife, your brother as your husband, be very careful. That information is going to be saved. State Department has proposed that. Now this one, no court will say that they didn't follow the right process because they have done it. They proposed it in May. They have given people more time. Do you know the number of people who responded to this? Over 14 million people. So they publish it online, and then they allow people to comment whether it is necessary or not, people to give their opinion, right? So now the 30 days have passed. So guys, just be very careful during the DV lottery time. If you go and give any false information, that information is going to be there. Remember, like when you go for the US visa interview and they do your fingerprint, and then they tell you 2014 when you came for the visa and you refused, you didn't tell us the truth and this kind of things. You see how they store that information, your fingerprint can. Yeah, so that is probably, in my opinion, that is something that is going to be very, very, that is going to apply to it. Let's see. Who is this? You say, can you apply for a loan from bank to apply for the green card and green card visa and travel ticket? That is a question you should ask the bank. Okay, when you apply for the lotto, you don't pay any money. I'm sure you know this. Okay, Mensa, I know you in the Anane, you don't need to go and take a loan. When you win and when you're done and you feel that you need, you can't afford your plane ticket, you need to collect loan. Then that one, you will make that decision when you get there. But just to apply for the lottery, you don't need a loan yet. I would say that start saving your money. If you want to travel to America, we know that plane tickets are not cheap. That I will tell you. Sometimes plane tickets are $1,000. Sometimes you will be, if you're lucky, depending on where you're coming from, your plane ticket might be around $900, $700, and then for $700 and up, sometimes it can get to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and if you're in first class, that's 10,000. So you know that it is not a small amount of money. So please prepare, save your money. We know that next month, September, I heard that they're going to release a new iPhone. Please know that sometimes the money that we spend on things that, may not add any value to our life, we have to be very mindful, okay? If you have the money, don't go and spend it on an iPhone. Just keep the money so that when it gets to when you win the lottery and you need to buy your plane ticket, at least you have that money then, okay? Know that when you apply for the Greek card lotto, you are supposed to include your spouse if you are married. If you are not married, sometimes I wonder, some of you are used to lying, that even when you don't want to lie, you still find yourself lying. I'll tell you this, guys. Somebody asked me, oh, so if I'm not married, can I include my sister? I said, if you are married, you can include your wife or your husband. And then this person asked me, so those of us who are not married, can we include our sisters? I was like, why? If you are married, if you are not married, why would you want to go and include somebody? Guys, remember, State Department will be saving your information, the information that you type in there. So please, if I were you, beginning this year, from this year going, your living lottery entry form, they are going to save that information. Those of you who are using agents, I cry for you. If the agent knows that you're married and goes to state that you are not married, wahala for you. Those information, they are not going to be throwing them away like, people think that, oh, you didn't win, so they are not going to use it. Now that they said they want to be able, the information that they collect, okay? Now, if they collect information, guess what? When they say we are collecting, they are not collecting and throwing away. Because they are initially collecting the information already. So when they specifically say they are collecting that information, it is not collecting and throwing away, it's collecting and keeping. So when you're applying for the Greek card lottery, please be honest. Stop trying to be the savior in your family and wanting to include everybody, claim everybody as your child, everybody as your wife, or everybody as your husband. Please be honest. If you go and claim your sister as your wife, or you go and claim your brother as your husband, please, this information is not going to go away. They will tag you with that information, and every time you go, they'll hit you. And you are the one who lied that you have a wife. Okay, now bring your marriage certificate. You're like, oh, and that one, it was the agent too. Hey, that one, I wasn't serious. I was playing. No, they will accept you play as serious. Okay, so please be very careful on the application. Alexander, you're saying I-134 sponsored on how to do it. Some of us have no relatives now. Alexander, you are from Ghana. Ghanaians going for interview in Ghana don't need affidavit of support. But let me just explain to those people, those of you who are not who this might apply to, because I know it's not just Ghanaians here. There are people from other countries who need the affidavit of support. Guys, the affidavit of support, let me tell you, to be honest, it is not easy. It is not easy. Some of you may think that it is just a form. Guys, it is not just a form. Imagine somebody ask for your financial document, your bank statement, your pension. Let's say you are a teacher. Let's say your father. Let me use your dad or your mom as an example. Let's say your mom is a civil servant. Your father is a civil servant. So has worked in the government for so many years. Somebody is going to do something. They tell him, please, can you guarantee this loan for me? And they're using your father's pension money. They're using your mother's pension money. If the person doesn't pay, they'll come after your mother's pension. Think of it that way. When you are asking somebody to sponsor you for affidavit, using the affidavit of support form, that is basically what you're telling that person. That if I come and I collect public assistance, the government can go after that person. So if the person doesn't know you, it is difficult for me if I don't know you. Even people who know you, if they know that you've been playing uselessness, okay? You know your life, you have been playing uselessness. Salamatu, you have to send an email, okay? I know you've been asking on Facebook. Please send an email to Ofoi TV, okay? Yeah. Isaac, you're saying, let me get to Isaac. You said you have Kikam Technical Institute as your senior, your highest level of education now is diploma. When applying for the DVLT, what should you use? Your highest level of education will be, there's vocational option there. Vocational and technical education is there. But when you say diploma, guys, please forgive me. You know, even though I am a Ghanaian, the diploma terms, sometimes I get confused with the way we have Americans use the word diploma, okay? The way we use diploma in Africa, the word diploma is different in America. America, diploma, your certificate is what they call diploma. It is not that you went to 2 years education. You know, in Africa, if you don't go to university and you go to post-secondary education, but it's not university, they call it diploma, right? Like training college, nursing training college, you get diploma. In America, diploma is just a certificate. So high school certificate is also called diploma. University, your degree thing, they call it diploma. Even if it's PhD, it's the diploma, right? So I want you to think of it as, if your education, you went to technical or vocational education, if that's your highest level, during the DV lottery application, you select vocational or technical. If it's university level, you give bachelor's. Remember, they don't ask, is it degree? They ask you your highest level of education. So look at the education level that you reach. If it's a vocational, there's an option for you. If it's some university, and if you're in university and you haven't completed, you pick some college courses. If you are still in technical or vocational school, and you haven't completed, there'll be an option for you to select. Okay. So coming back to the affidavit of support, guys, if you are, please like it. I know there are about 18 people on live. Please click the like button, okay? Do that for me. So affidavit of support, it is always best. Hi, Justin. The affidavit of support, please go through the people you already know. Go through the people you already know, okay? Because sometimes have a plan. When you are approaching somebody to help do the affidavit of support for you, you need to have a plan, okay? You need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it will make it difficult for the person to help you. Imagine you're coming from Africa. Maybe the job that you do, you are, let's say, you are an assistant at, some tourist attraction, okay? Some tourist attraction place in your country. Let's say in an amusement park in Kenya, an amusement park in Ghana, amusement park in Liberia, wherever you are, and you are assistant there. I am intentionally using an example like that. And you are coming to America, you're like, oh, when I come, I want to do the same thing here. Please, maybe the place that you're going, you may not get that job. Okay? I'm not saying that there are no state parks. There are state parks there, but maybe you may not get that job as your first job. So sometimes the plans that you have for yourself, the person that you're asking for to sponsor you. So for example, you ask somebody to sponsor you. Meanwhile, you're like, oh, when I come, I am an actor. When I come, I'll be acting in movies. Please, who will be convinced to sponsor you? I'm not saying that it is not possible. The person wants to make sure that when you come, you are going to work. Because as long as you are working, you will not enter financial troubles for you to go and seek government assistance. So please, if you are asking somebody to sponsor you and the person is not willing to do that, sometimes consider your own plans. If you have been lazy person back home, they know you to be lazy. You every week you go, and this job, it is very hard. So me, I've stopped. I've come home. I'm not going to work anymore. And then you come and ask this person to sponsor you. They're like, let me see. Isn't that this guy who every time he goes to work and he quits the job in 1 week, then he will quit the job. Now you want me to use my salary to be a guarantee for you. And when you come here and you continue the laziness, I'm the one who is going to suffer for you. So sometimes that might be the difficulty. Okay? So, but just go to the people you already know. Friends of your friends. Friends of your family members, your auntie's friends. And know that when you reach out to somebody, who said they just arrived? George, you said you just arrived here. Okay, welcome. So please do use that option. Let's see. Salamatu, you have Felix, let me look at you. Said, please, what do you think of the affidavit of support? No, affidavit of a change of name. There's different affidavit of change of name, and gazette for change of name. Example, Felix upon Nkrumah, which was changed to Felix upon way before you apply. That is okay. Let's say that Phyllis, you have changed your name, like your name is Phyllis Opon Nkrumah. If you have changed your name, you have done the Gazette affidavit of change of name, and that thing has been approved. Now your name is Phyllis. Let's say now your name is Phyllis what? Phyllis Opon. The Nkrumah, you've taken the Nkrumah off. When you're applying for the lottery, you use your name. If you're, let's say you are now going to apply for the lottery, you will use the name that is your current name. Your current name is Phyllis Opon, not Phyllis Opon Nkrumah. So when you're applying for the DV lottery, you will use Phyllis Opon because you are no longer going by the old name. But remember, because of the affidavit of change document that you have, you can still use the document, your senior high school certificate that has your old name, your marriage certificate that has your old name, any document that has your old name, you can still use it, but you cannot go and use both names. Please let me try and explain. Let's say me, I'm a QFR right now. Next time I marry somebody, I am not a QFR anymore. I'm a queer. A queer will say, okay, if I is gone or say is on. My school, my degree, the diploma, they have written on a queer ifa. If I'm going somewhere and they ask me bring your certificate, I'm still going to bring my certificate that says a queer ifa. Even though now I am a queer will say, and then the document that supports that, hey, the Equia file on this document and Equia upon the Equia was say they are the same person. That is the affidavit of change of name, and then the gazette. That is what establishes that you, Phyllis Opon Nkrumah and Phyllis Opon, they are the same person. Okay, so if you are a winner and you have that information, when you're filling your DS260, even though you will use your old name to unlock it, on the DS260, somewhere they ask you names that you have used. So make sure you're using your current name. So you will use your, when you open your DS260 application, use your current name. The column where it says other names, aliases, names that you have used. Then you can now type the Phyllis Opon Nkrumah, or you can type Nkrumah, because you are listing the names that you have used in the past.
so that they will know that, hey, when we're looking at Phyllis Upon right now, she used to be called Phyllis Upon Chroma. She used to be called Phyllis Ajay. She used to be called this. Then they will know that all those names are your previous names. So when you go to the interview and you have documents showing this and that, they know that you mentioned that on your DS260, and you also brought evidence to show that. Okay, all right. Christina, you said, do you know any cyber cafe in Ghana where you can assist, where who can assist me well? Please don't let anybody assist you, okay? The registration has not started, so just be patient. I will give you guys a form you can download, okay? I'm looking to have like organize a live class on Facebook. You come, you download the form, okay, and then you go and fill. Then you will take the form to the internet cafe, and then you enter your information there. Okay, so I have prepared a form that I'll be distributing to people, but I'm going to wait till October. So please follow me on Facebook, subscribe here and follow me on Facebook. So around that time, when I share the form, you can go and download it. When you download, you sit home and use your pen. You print it, use your pencil. You will fill the form, so that if you're going to the internet cafe to even fill your lottery there, you have the form. You say, oh, here is asking for my name. This is the information I entered. Then you type it. Okay, here I enter this information. Let me enter. So it will make it easier for you. So that is something I've already prepared. The form is there. So I'll be sharing that. Alex, you're asking, is 27K a good number? See, your case number has no impact. It's as a matter of your embassy working. If your case number is 27K and your embassy is working faster and scheduling more people, it wouldn't matter. They will get to you. Somebody whose case number is within 80,000 has already done his interview. Meanwhile, somebody has a case number 2,000 in his country and has not received interview. So don't be very stuck on your case number. Whether it is good or bad, you have it. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything about it. The most important thing is that you will make sure that you get interview. When I say make sure, it means that when you see that your embassy is not interview more people, you can gather yourself and transfer to another embassy in a timely fashion. If you wait and you delay till it is too late, then it is your own palaver. Okay. Brown Ernest, how are you? You said the DV lottery photo editing help. Yes, definitely, guys. I'll give you help on that. Mopac, you said well, form on October. You submitted yours on October 1st and yes, still have not received interview. It is where you're going for interview. That is why that embassy has not been scheduling more interview faster. That's why. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, so Christina, I hope that my answer helps you with your question. I said that I'm going to give out some forms that me I've personally the information that it asks for people. I've done a form so you can download it. I'll post it. I haven't shared it yet. You have to follow me on Facebook so that when I share it there, you can quickly go and download it, okay? And then you print it, you download and go and print it, and then you fill that form. When you fill it, when the application time opens, when you go to the internet cafe, you go and you type your things, okay? You look on the form and you fill it, okay? Even if you have, like, I've told you, don't let anybody fill for you. But let's say you have your brother. You want your brother to fill it for you. If you have finished filling the whole thing on the form and you give to him, at least he's not going to make the mistake of your birthday. If it's May 10th, 1992, your brother will not go and make mistake and put what number? October 5th, right? October 5th and May 5th, it is just flipping the 10 and 5. Flipping the 10 and 5 instead of May. Now your birthday is October. So when you fill the form, it will help you, like, oh, I've made sure everything is correct. Go and sit there and then do all of that, okay? Let's see. Ibrahim, you're asking, do I have any information about the lawsuit and their chances of winning? That one, I cannot comment on that. I don't know. This is a question that you guys should move to the lawyers, right? You should pass it on to the lawyers. But one thing that I would say about the lawsuit is that the lawsuits are not, it is not a bad thing, but know that the lawsuit cannot guarantee that you get a visa, okay? So far, you know that the total number of visas that have been issued are over 30,000 right now, 30,500 as of July 31st, okay? Now, you know that we are entering even the ending of August. Wednesday will be August 31st. So they have even interviewed many people even as we are talking right now, okay? So if by September 30th and they have issued all the visas and even you win the lawsuit, there are no visas available to give to you, right? There are no visas to make available for you guys to even go for interview. So that's the thing. Whenever they run out of visa, they have run out of visa. So that is why you have to do your very best to ensure that you get your interview, whether you have to go to another place, go to another country to do your interview, do it. Just in case, do you have any suggestion about moving to Texas? Which areas are better, affordable, by quality of life? So let me give you a quick answer on that. So Texas is, as many of you people from the outside, okay? If you're from the outside, Texas is a very conservative state. Texas, you know, it's a red state. People are about their guns, people are about their church. But the thing is that when you're in Texas, Texas is very different. When you're inside, it's different from how people see it from the outside. There are people who are, there are places or towns in Texas that are very liberal, right? Austin is an example. Austin has always been liberal, blue area, okay? There are some places, they are very red. So if you want to move to Texas, it depends on what you plan on doing, your family circumstances, to look at whether it is affordable or not. That I will tell you that use Google to help you so that you can look at the standard of living in different cities in Texas. But on the social spectrum, like if you're a young person, you don't have children, you have an IT job, you have an IT background, you want a government job, oftentimes Austin is better. If you are from, if you are, let's say you are transgender, you are lesbian, you're gay, Austin might be a better place for you. I'm not saying that you cannot live in Houston, but Austin is more liberal. So they are more accepting of different cultures, different lifestyle, okay? Different sexuality in Austin, they accept it. But when you go to Houston, Houston is very diverse, but the culture there is not liberal as in Austin. Austin is not diverse when it comes to racial demographics. Houston is more diverse because Houston, there are Indians there, Nigerians, like a lot of Africans there, a lot of people from Middle East in Houston. But then they are very conservative. By Austin, the racial component is not it's not balanced well, but they are liberal. If you have children and you're raising children and you want to be in a place that has good schools, you have better family thing, you want to go to Dallas area, you want to go to Dallas, Fort Worth, that area is good for raising children. There are really good schools over there, okay? I'm not saying there are no good schools in Austin, but Austin is mostly for young people. You can go to San Antonio too if you have family, if you're planning to join the military, there's a military base there. You can go to San Antonio. That is more, they have a more of a cultural town. That place is more of a Spanish vibe, but then it is a lot of military families over there. So if that is where you want to go, they have medical centers, they have universities there, you can go there. So it depends on what you and your family situation is. You know, if you're coming with, let's say you are a family of 5, you and your wife and your 3 children, Austin might not be the best place unless you have an IT job. You have a job that pays very well because Austin is very expensive. But if you want your children to have better schools, if that is what you want to be in a place where the community is more about family, then Dallas will be the place for you. I'm not saying you can't do that in Houston. I'm just saying that the best place for it will be Dallas, Fort Worth area. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Let me go on to the next group. Salamat, you have to ask your question again or you email me, okay? Alexander, if you want to discuss a case with me, just send an email and let me know what the problem is. But if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you have to book consultation, okay? If you want to talk to me, anybody who wants to talk to me, you have to book consultation. But you can type an email of what you need help with. If I can assist you, I'll let you know. If whatever you are asking about, if it requires consultation, then I'll let you know, okay? But yeah, to get me on the phone one-on-one, definitely you have to reserve time to do that. So Christina, if you want to call me on the phone, I hope that you're hearing this part. If you want to talk to me on the phone one-on-one, you have to book consultation. Just send me an email. This channel name, wafoitv@gmail.com. Send me an email. Tell me why you need to talk to me, okay? Because when you email me and tell me, oh, please just give me your phone number, I'm not going to do that. I need to know the reason, because some of you, your situation, I might not be able to help you. So I'm not going to waste your time and be on the phone with you and then tell you, you know, this, I cannot help you. Or this, I cannot do. I don't know anything about this. I've wasted your time. You've wasted my time. So send me an email. If you have something that you want to talk to me one-on-one, just send an email. Give me the summary version of the why you need to talk to me. And if it's something that we need to book one-on-one consultation, we'll do that. If it's something that I can respond to you in the email, I will give you the answer in the email. Okay? But you can always contact me on Facebook also. Brown INS, where do you come from? When you say if you can sponsor yourself, where do you come from? You can. I don't know what country, because guys, it seems like many of you have not, especially Ghanaians, because I see many Ghanaians asking about the affidavit of support. And I'm like, I've made a video and mentioned the countries that require affidavit of support. Ghana is not part. Why do you need affidavit of support? They don't need it in your country, but you want it. Why would you take a document that they don't need, right? Brown, I don't know where you come from. If you I've made a video and talked about the places that need affidavit of support. I've talked about, but if you can sponsor yourself, you do so. There are some embassies, they want you to sponsor yourself. There are some countries, when you go, they want you to sponsor yourself. South Africa is one of the places. When you go, they want you to bring your bank statement. They don't ask you to go and fill affidavit of support. South Africa, they want you to bring your bank statement. Of course, if you cannot do that, then you bring affidavit of support. Guys, those of you who are employed, whether self-employment or you are employed by somebody, please have a bank account. Have a bank account. I know many of you get paid in cash and you are happy with it. Please have a bank account that when you get your pay, go and put all the money in the bank account, and then you use your ATM card to be doing your transaction. Because some of you, when they ask for bank statement, you don't have any. Meanwhile, you have a job. Your bank statement is one of the documents that can show that you are employed. If I show my bank statement and they see that, oh, every month, this amount of money is coming into your bank account, they know that, okay, it shows some proof that somebody is paying you the same amount every month. They know that you are consistently getting paid. It means that typically when you see that happen, it means that the person is working. It is not a full evidence, but it is something that shows that the person is doing something and they are getting money from it. Okay? So if you are self-employed, you are employed, please open a bank account. Let your pay go to that account. Then you can take the money from there and do whatever you need to. If you pay your light bill, you have your ATM card. You withdraw the money. If you need something small, you withdraw the money. But if you keep taking your money in your hands, please, so when they ask for bank statement, now you are in trouble because you don't even have a bank account. Please do that. Do that, okay? Opening bank account is not, they don't charge. Some countries, they might charge small money, but mostly they don't charge money, okay? Abdi, he said you want to ask you filled the DSUC 2 months ago. How long should you wait? 2 months ago, are you DV 2023 winner? You have to add that, right? You know that it is not only you guys. There's DV 2022. If you're DV 2023, that I cannot predict how long you should wait. At the end of the day, it depends on your embassy. If your embassy decide not to start work until next year, then you'll be waiting till next year, right? So it all depends on your embassy. If your embassy is busy working, then it could get to you quicker. If your embassy is slowly working, then it will get to you slower. That is how it is, okay? The police, Edwin, so the police report from Ghana has a red background. Is it acceptable for the U.S. Embassy? Yes, the police report is police report. They are not, for that one, when you go to do your police report, the embassy is only asking you to get the police report. How the police department in your country decide to do their police report, it is their own matter. So yeah, you take it like that. The embassy is not telling you that you should have a white background on your police report. They haven't made any requirement. They said just go and get your police report. So your country, if when they make the police report, they put glitters on the shiny things on this, you bring it like that. Because the embassy didn't say that. Tell your country people that when they're doing the police report, we need this, we want to make sure they put this on there, they need to put necklace on, they need to put this. No. So if your police, the police headquarters, when they do the police report, they have a red background, you take that. But don't use that photo to go and apply for the DV lottery. As for the DV lottery, they tell you specifically, we don't want any color background, we only want white. Okay? Let's see. Nana also he said, please add added man of deck certificate on. Is it a big deal? Nana say you don't really need to put your NAVDEC certificate on, because NAVDEC, you only wrote an exam, right? You only wrote an exam. So I mean, if you have put it there, it's okay. It doesn't harm anything. But when you go for the interview, you need to bring your senior high school certificate. Remember, guys, although some of you, your embassy focuses on your grades, but know that underneath that grade requirement, they said proof of 12 years of education, secondary education, completion of secondary education. Okay, you know, in Ghana, I know primary school 6 years, junior high school 3 years, senior high school 3 years, 12. Okay, if you take an NAVDEC certificate and you don't include your senior high school, what shows that you went to senior high school? What shows that you have completed 12 years of education? So even though the embassy is looking at your grades, they are also looking at the fact that you did complete school. So please, in Africa, we know that if you did not complete senior high school, you cannot have a WASI certificate. You cannot have your SSCE. You cannot have your secondary school certificate if you did not go to school. You cannot just show up. You didn't even go to primary school anywhere. You cannot just show up, stay like, I'm coming to write and take my final exams. Why do they do that? So please, don't let, because your NAVDEC grades, if they are better than senior high school, don't overlook your senior high school. Make sure you put your senior high school education on your DS3C. Those of you who have senior high school education, make sure you put that on there. Okay? Amdi, you said, yeah. All right, thank you, Abdi. Isaac, you said your highest qualification now is diploma at the University of Cape. So, like I said, I explained it to you. Diploma is not your highest level. Diploma is not your highest now. Is it a 3-year? Is it a, because like they said, your diploma is the certificate. I'm talking about your highest level is not the certificate. It is the highest level you completed. Is it a bachelor's degree? That is the thing I'm trying to get you to understand. When you're on the DV lottery, when they ask for your highest level of education, it is not the certificate that they are talking about. They are talking about the highest level of education you went through to. They are not talking about your certificate. So that's why on the DV lottery, they ask junior high school, no degree. When they say high school, no degree, they are talking about somebody who went to high school and you did not complete. Either you drop out or you didn't write your final exams. So you went to the school, but you didn't graduate. Or you didn't complete. You don't have your results. You don't have your certificate. Okay? And then they have people, so you went to a university to do the diploma. I don't know whether it is a bachelor's degree, because I'm telling you, stop using the word diploma when you're talking to me, because you're confusing me. The diploma is your certificate that you receive. What was the level of education? Was it a vocational course? Was it a bachelor's degree? Was it a bachelor's level education? Was it a master's level education? That is what you're supposed to talk about, not the certificate that you received. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Zap, after winning the lottery and doing all the necessary interview, can the person also ignore the lottery and get into USA via another route? Yes, you can. If you have the another route, okay? If you have another route, if you have gone through the lottery and you say you've done all the necessary interview preparation, and can the person ignore the lottery and go to another route? Yes, you can. If you feel the other route is better, it is up to you. There have been people whose parents are in America, they have petitioned for them, and it's going to take years for them to get approved and even to get to go to their interview. If the person wins the lottery and they are able to get their interview, they can use the lottery and come to America instead of going through using their father or their mother's petition. Somebody won the lottery, meanwhile the husband has petitioned for her to come to America, but it was delaying. So she was going through the lottery, and then she got to some point, the husband's visa process, interview became available, and lottery interview has not become available. So she went for the interview, got the visa, and left the lotto and came to America. So if you find something that is similar, but remember that you use another route to America, make sure that it is a comparable route. Okay? The Greek card lottery, the name Greek card is there for a reason. When you come to America, you will get a Greek card. If you're using the lottery, when you come to America, you get the Greek card. Let's say that you're doing the Greek card lottery, you're preparing for interview, you have interview appointment, and then you get student visa appointment, and you decide to not do the lottery, not go for the interview, let that interview go to waste. You get your student visa appointment, visa, you come to America. Know that the student visa is for you to come to school and go back to your country. So it is up to you. If you want to take a temporary thing over a permanent thing, it is up to you. You make that decision. Me, I will not make it for you. You know the reason why you're making certain decisions. Okay? So, yeah. Let's go ahead. Yeah, so there are no more questions coming in. So, guys, at the end of the day, as I've stated earlier on, the passport requirement, State Department still has enough time. They still have enough time to make that requirement, to go through the proper channel to institute the passport requirement. State Department still has ample time to institute the requirement because they only need 30 days. So if I were you and you don't have your passport, please work on it. Okay? For me, in my own point of view, if October comes and we don't need a passport, it is still yours. Remember when you win the lotto and before you go for the interview, you need the passport anyway. You will need the passport anyway, regardless. So, if I were you, I will do the best that I can to get my passport. Don't just wait. Thank you, Nana. I'll say, Amen. I will do my very best to get my passport. If they don't ask for it, it is still my personal property. I know it may not be yours completely because your government, the passport is the property of your government, but you are the one who is like, you can claim temporary owner. Okay? So know that if you get your passport and the passport is not required, you will not suffer. But if you wait and then State Department brings the passport requirement, because they still have the 30 days period to publish that they are going to require it. and then you don't have your passport. Now you see you've waited to last minute and to realize that now you need passport. So that's why I will tell you guys that please work on your passport. If it's not required, you don't lose anything because the passport is still yours. If they require it, you have it. That is the best advice I can tell you. Me, the first time I had a passport, I was around the age of 8. The age of 8. I had a passport from there. And do you know the time that I got to use it? I got to use my passport when I was at the age of 20. I had my passport, my first passport, somewhere around the age of 8. I only got to use it when I was at the age of 20. So the passport was even expired and I had to get a new one before I even got to travel with it. So if you want to travel, get your passport done. Get your passport done, okay? Get your passport done. Because you will not be climbing on anybody's airplane with your bare hands. You know, sometimes some people just, argue about this. And I'm like, you know that you need a passport to get on a plane, right? To get on a plane to travel outside your country. Maybe you are in Kenya. If you're traveling from Nairobi to any part of Kenya, you may not need a passport because you are traveling within your country. So you may not need a passport. If you are in Ghana, you are taking a plane from Accra to Kumasi. Because you are traveling within your country, you can use your Ghana card to get on a plane, your Ghana ID card to get on a plane. You don't need a passport. But if you're going to enter another man's country or another woman's country, you need a passport. So that is why it is important to definitely work on that. If you want to travel by plane to another man's country, get a passport, okay? You need a passport to enter. You need a passport to do that. So please do that. Just in case, thank you so much for subscribing. Guys, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Edmund, you're asking that will you need American side passport photo, right? When you doing the DV lottery, the requirement is different, okay? For DV lottery, when you're going to take when you're going to take your passport photo, please make sure that your face is visible. Like me, I'm sitting here, right? Imagine, if I'm going to take photo, me like this, if the background was white, it will be perfect. No problem. I'm here taking my photo. Nothing is covering my face, covering my forehead. My forehead is clear. My chin and my cheek, they are all clear. Nothing is covering here. I'm not wearing a uniform. This is not a uniform. So I can go and take my photo just like this. Just like this. Right? If you're a young man, you can go and take your photo. Just be a simple, however you dress, but don't dress up with your uniform. Go to a photo studio. Last time somebody was asking me, when you were in Ghana, what photo studio were you using? There was a photo studio on Dankwa Circle. Is it? No, Tetekwashi Circle. Is it the one that is around Koala Shopping Mall, around Osu Oxford Street? There's one going to Osu Oxford Street. There's opposite around there. That circle there. I think it's Tetekwashi. Is it Tetekwashi or Dankwa? I think it's Dankwa or Tetekwashi. I don't know. But it's from when you're coming from Labadi Road and Circle. There's some runabout there. There's a big photo studio there. That is the place that I used to go take my photo because, American Embassy was right there. So oftentimes you go there and they ask you something, I quickly come back. When I was going to do my medicals, I went there to take my video. Please, they are not paying me for anything for talking about them. But somebody was asking, where do you take your photo? That was where the place I was taking photo. Go to the studio, tell them that you need to take a passport photo for American visa. Most of the time they know that the measurement should be at least 600 pixels by 600 pixels. The maximum will be 1200 by 1200. It should be within 600 and 1200. That's the size. When you tell them, anybody who is a proper photographer knows pixels. Pixels is the unit of measurement of digital image. Okay, so they will do the 600 pixels by 600 pixels, or up to 1200 by 1200 pixels. Okay, I take that photo. You know, you want a soft copy, digital, electronic, not the one that you're holding in your physical hand. You want them to put it on your phone. When they finish, let them email the thing to you, send them to you to email, so that during the application you can just go to your email, you download it and use it to apply. All right. Let's see. If you apply for the DV lottery in Ghana and you move to South Africa, can you do your interview in South Africa and go to? Yes, there have been several people who have done that. There are several Ghanaians in South Africa, some Kenyans are in South Africa. When they win the lottery, they do everything there and then they come. There are some Ghanaians in UAE. When they won the lottery, they did everything there. Some Kenyans, Ugandans in UAE, Tanzanians, Zimbabweans there. When they do the interview, they will do the interview there, because when they apply for the lottery, they were in their country. After they won, they are no longer there. So wherever you are, you can process it there. Okay, you don't have to come back to your country. If you want, you can come back to your country and complete it there. But if you don't want, you don't have to. Joy, tell you're saying any idea on the shortage of passport booklet in Ghana? I've heard about it, but I don't know enough information about that. All that I would say is that just put in the effort, okay? Sometimes you hear certain things, but others are also getting the passport. So even if they are saying there's a shortage, still go and apply. Don't say that, because, you know, sometimes some people, they hear bad news and they stop. They will not even attempt to even do the thing. Hey, people say that you cannot get interview appointment. So me, I will not even go and look. What is this? Go and put in your application. And even if it is shortage, you still be in, you know, in line. Okay? So definitely go and put your apply. Roseman, I've talked about it. We don't know yet, since State Department still has enough time to put the passport requirement in. They still have 30 days. They need 30 days to bring any rule-making requirement. So from now to October, when the applications was open, we still have 30 days. From now to even October 1st, we still have 30 days. So State Department within the next few days can publish something and say that, hey, we are going to require passport. Okay? So if I were you, I will try and work on my passport just in case. Okay? But I cannot tell you, since they still have the grace period to ask to add the passport requirement. I'm not going to say that they will require it or they will not. My opinion is that have your passport ready. If they ask for it, good. If they don't ask for it, good. You have it, okay? But I cannot state that you will not need it. Let's see. See, Zab says that he applied for a passport just last week. So those of you who are saying that they said there's a shortage, so you are saying because of a shortage, you will not apply. You say that somebody has gone to apply for this, okay? And sometimes you just need to push the right. You know, you are in Ghana now. Don't pretend as if you don't know, how they do things over there. So you need to push the right buttons to get what you need, okay? So just work on that, because guys, if the State Department officially add a passport requirement and you don't have your passport, hey, you will suffer. You can win the lotto and there will be no excuse for you. My country, there was shortage. They don't care. If they require the passport and you say that there was a shortage of passport too, so I applied but I didn't get it on. They don't care. Because they will say that we gave you all this while you have the whole of last year, the whole of the year before, the whole of the year before, and you didn't get your passport. Now you're saying that, and when I applied, it was, they told me 2 weeks, but then I couldn't get it. So they don't care. You and your excuse can go and sit down, please. So that's why since State Department still has grace period to add that requirement, I will not say that they will not use it. When we have passed that grace period, that point I can tell you categorically that they will not use the passport requirement. Let's say by September 15th. By September 15th or September 15th, I can tell you categorically that the State Department will not use passport requirement, or they will use it. But at this time, I cannot say, because they still have ample time to bring that requirement. They just need 30 days to obey the rules, right? The State Department, in the rule making process, they need 30 days or 60 days. They can use 30 days or 60 days to announce that we are going to need the passport requirement. You know, in your country, you cannot use 30 days to get a passport. That is why I'm telling you that get a passport in case. For me, I'm just saying, in case they ask for passport, you will have it. If they don't ask for it, sister, brah, you still have your passport. Okay? It is yours. Yeah, I tell you, okay, now you get me. All right. Thank you, Samuel. Samuel Watson, how are you? Edwin, you said, DSU, I was asked if someone assisted in filling the application. I answered yes, and I put my host details there because he helped me to fill the form. I have an interview appointment. Any issue with that? There is no issue, but the part where they said you are supposed to sign and submit. I hope that you didn't let your host submit that part for you. If you let somebody submit for you, that is where the problem is. Letting somebody fill your DS260 for you is not a problem. That one is not a problem. I can fill for you. A lawyer can fill for you. Anybody who can assist you can do it. But when it comes to the end where they say sign and submit, read and sign, you the person, unless the person is a baby. Let's say you have a baby, your baby cannot go and do this signing, right? If you have a child, then you can do that for the child. But you are supposed to let the person that you're filling that form for sign that part. Your host should never sign and submit for you. You should. So, the people who have used my consulting services to fill the DS260, when it gets to the part to submit, I send it to them. I tell them, hey, I finished everything. Go through, read it, and you sign and submit. Read through, I give the person some days. Okay, take 2 days or 3 days. Go through everything. See if there's something that you don't agree with, and then we'll make the corrections. Ask questions, and then the person will come back. It's like, oh, sister, please, this part, I want you to change this to this. I want you to change this to this. I want to change. Okay, we've changed it. Now, I'm going to log out and let you log in. Okay? And this, when people book this consultation, this is how sometimes I do my consultation. So this person booked consultation. So I was like, I'm now going to log out. You will log in. When you log in, now we are doing video call. So the person is showing me the screen. I was like, okay, now this is the page for you to sign and submit. Read through the documents here. They talk about female genital mutilation. Click on that. Read through it. Okay, you have read through it. Do you understand everything they are talking to you about? Yes. Maybe I don't understand. Yes, they are telling you that female genital mutilation, whether it is your culture or not, don't bring it to America. Do you understand? I understand. Read it again. Okay, I understand. All right. They are saying selective services. Do you know what that means? I don't know. Okay, selective services it means that if you are within this age, 18 to 26, you should sign up for the selective services, just in case if America needs, when America says all the men, where are all the men? Oh, come on, we are at war, let's go. They will call you too. Okay, you must click on this form and acknowledge that you have read it, and you must sign. When you come to America, you must sign up for that. Within 30 days of arriving in America, you must sign up for selective services. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, now you have to go through this part and sign it. I cannot do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So if somebody is filling things for you, please make sure that they say it there, that you must sign it yourself. Don't let anybody sign for you. Okay? So long as you do that, you'll be fine. So let's see. Enoch, you're asking, does U.S. Embassy accept affidavit for uh, the changes in your date of birth and name changes, they accept it, but especially when it comes to date of birth changes, they scrutinize it a little bit. So you should be you should be prepared to answer questions. You should be prepared. Some of you, you take bold decisions, and now they are going to ask you bold questions. So you should be ready with bold answers, okay? Yeah, you should be ready to, answer if they ask you any question about why was your date of birth different, you should be able to answer that. So the fact that you are holding the document doesn't answer that question for you. You are holding the document, okay, yeah, so it looks like you saw there was a mistake and you attempted to correct it. You have done the right thing to correct it. But it doesn't mean that they cannot ask you why was your date of birth different. You should have an answer, okay? Me, I cannot answer that for you. You need to come up with an answer why your date of birth was different. Sometimes the excuse, your reason might be stupid, okay? I know some people have stupid reasons. Sometimes your reason might be silly. Sometimes your reason might make sense. You still have to tell them, okay? I remember, let me give you an example. When I was in senior high school, if you were an older person in the class, your mates will tease you. They will call you grandma or grandpa. I remember me when I went to senior high school. If you were older, people will tease you. And you ask, how would they know your age? It was because sometimes they will come and conduct roll. And when they conduct roll, they call people by their date of birth. So they ask, okay, so if your class group is, people who were born in 2000 coming, they'll come, okay, 2000, those who were born in 2000, stand up, and then they'll count. Those of you who were born in 2001, stand up, then they'll count. 2003, stand up, then they'll count. And then they finish counting like, the entire class is supposed to be 120 students, but we only got 115. Where are the 5 people? If you did not hear your number, get up, and then you see 5 people get up. Please, so as for us, we are 97. And they're like, hey, 97. Most of us, we are 2000, 2000, 2000, 2001, 2000, and you are 97. They said, hey, grandma. They will tease you. I know this because I know in my school, they did that. One guy, they call him grandpa. And the guy was somebody who he was quiet person, so he just ignored it. Some people, because of that reason, they reduce their age. So this is a stupid reason, but it makes sense. Please, in school, they were teasing me, so I reduced my age so that I will not be the receiving end of people's, teasing and mockery. It is not, it is a foolish reason, but it makes sense. Somebody will understand. Oh, okay, I can see why. They are not going to stand on it and refuse your visa and say that you had a stupid reason, but it makes sense. But when you don't have any reason, then it seems like you are trying to, maybe even this certificate may not be your own. No. Maybe you are not an honest person. You like lying. Sometimes lying about something, okay? In this DV lottery journey, they tell you honesty is the key. Honesty is the key. Guys, in our lives, there are some situations you are forced to take some measures that may not be honest. In life, sometimes, like this example that I told you, this guy, they teased him till we finished school. First year, when they found out that the guy was the oldest person, he was 2 years older than the rest of us, they teased him till we finished school. Some people kept calling him grandpa, even though he had his own proper name. So some people, especially the girls, they reduce their name. You see some celebrities doing that. Try to reduce their name, their age, so that, because if you're young and you're doing stupid things, people will say, she's young and dumb. He's young and dumb. But when you're old and you're doing stupid things, that's when they say, this is an old fool, right? So whatever your reason was, just when you go and they ask you, just say it, okay? But if your reason is for fraudulent reason, that one is fire. I changed my age so that I can be this. I changed my age because my brother wrote the exam. So I'm using my brother's certificate. So I needed to change my age so that I can get my brother's certificate. You know this thing when you because you have been honest doesn't mean that you're going to go scot-free. You know, sometimes that's why when people tell you that be honest and be honest, honesty is good. But for me, I'll say that be consistent. Let the documents and what you're saying, let them speak the same language. What you're saying and the documents that you're holding, let them make sense. Speak the same in the same language. If your documents are speaking in another language, what you're saying is also coming with another language, then if you try to mesh the two, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so just be careful. Let's say you have your school certificate showing that you should be, your school certificate, the age on there shows that you should be 30 years old. Here you are saying that you are 25 years old, and then they're looking at you. Your face is not 25-year-old face. You see what you're saying, what you're looking like, and the documents you have, they are not agreeing. So sometimes you have to be very careful with those things. There has to be consistency with your story. But definitely they accept affidavit for change of name. They accept. But if you, one person, you have a problem with your date of birth, you have a problem with your name now, please. Too much of a coincidence. So even me, who is not a consular officer, will think that, hey, are you using somebody's certificate? That's why you're changing your whole name. You've changed your whole name. You've changed the date of birth. It means, to me, it is telling me that you are trying to take somebody's identity. So be very careful. If you have changed your whole name, let's say somebody is Phyllis Ekia Ifa, my name. Your name is let's see, Evelyn Yebua Ifa. My date of birth, let's say my date of birth is 1989. You too, your date of birth is 1988, or let's say 87, or 2000. You are trying to use my certificate. So the only thing we have in common is Ifa, and you have Ifa. But then your name is different from mine. So all of a sudden, you have gone to change your name to take my name. You have gone to change your date of birth to pick my date of birth. Anybody, even anybody, can see that you are trying to take somebody's identity because you're trying to use somebody's document. So if you're going for an interview and you have affidavit of change of name, affidavit of change of date of birth, please, if the way you change your name, if it wasn't because of marriage, people change their name because of marriage. Mostly, the most common reason for people, especially women, changing their name will be for marriage. They get married and then they take their husband's name. If somebody gets adopted, oh, me, I adopt somebody, the person is going to take my last name so that it will seem like we are a family. But if you don't have any of those circumstances and you just change your name, you are a guy, you're changing your name, because mostly we know men don't take their wife's last name. So when you change your name, you've changed your date of birth. Anybody will look at it and say, it looks like the certificate that you're bringing, some of them don't belong to you. You are taking somebody's identity to come with you. So be very mindful of the things that you do. When you're doing things, please just remove your emotions, stand outside of the whole matter, and look at it and say, so if somebody looks at this, what would the person think? You're like, as for this there, when you look at it, you can tell it looks suspicious. You yourself look at your own situation and analyze it that way. That if I'm looking at this situation from this angle, it looks like it's suspect. You can even ask your friend, please, so I'm changing this. If you were a consular officer and somebody comes in front of you with this, what would you think? It's like, I would think that this person is trying to deceive me. So if the consular officer thinks that you're trying to deceive them, then definitely that is how your interview is going to go. If they think you are trying to deceive them, definitely you're not going to get your visa. Okay? So just be mindful when you're making changes. Guys, those of you who are still in senior high school, please don't play with your date of birth. It is okay. Keep your date of birth. Don't go and be changing things. If a teacher comes to your classroom to announce, to call people out with their date of birth, and you don't mention yours, just sit him. When the teacher leaves, you can follow him and tell them, please, my age, I see I'm a little older than everybody else, but I don't want them to be using that to tease me and make my life miserable. But this is my age. Please, can you add it there? I don't want to be embarrassed by it. Please, can you make sure you respect that and not share it among my mates? Some teachers will understand. Some teachers will understand. They are also human beings. They have children going to school too. If their child was going to school and everybody is teasing their child and the child doesn't want to go to school, they will feel it. So please don't play with your age, even if this is what the consequences will be. That if you say that my classmate, everybody is 16, everybody is claiming to be 16 years old. Me, I'm 18 years in the class. Then they call you, oh, you are a mama, you are a mama, you are a big mama, you are a grandpa, you are a grandma in the classroom. No. You can talk to the teacher who comes around to mention the date of birth. You can talk to them and let him know your situation. Please, I don't want to be embarrassed by my age. Can you please make sure that you keep it confidential so that these people don't torture me for the rest of my life here in school? Some teachers will understand, okay? But don't play with your age. You are saying if someone has changed their both date of birth and then the name which is suspicious, shouldn't they look at the picture? Yes, but is it all documents that have pictures? Some people go with people that they look like. Some people will get other people's documents that they look like. I'm just saying that you're suspicious. That's all. If you do that, you're suspicious. If you're changing your name, if you don't have a good reason for changing your name, although you are holding the document, it is not about the document you're holding. As for the document, you must bring the document that shows that this is your name. But it doesn't mean that they are not going to question you about that. They want to make sure that you are not misrepresenting yourself. It is a huge factor in when it comes to visa approvals and refusals. Misrepresentation is one of the top reasons. When it comes to when people go for an interview, when you are misrepresenting yourself in certain countries, misrepresentation. You are misrepresenting yourself as something. You are misrepresenting some information. So long as you are, the fact that I say that you'll be suspicious doesn't mean that they're going to refuse you. I'm just saying you're going to be suspect. When you go, you just need to be able to give them plausible reason why these things have changed in your life. People don't just get up and go and change their name in Ghana. Especially for guys. People don't just get up and go and change their name. Like me, the name I was given, that still is going to be the name. Unless when you get married and you want to change, you change it. But for a guy, for you to change your name, people don't just get up and go and change their name. So that's why I'm saying that prepare, be ready to answer for why you did that, why your name has changed, why your date of birth has changed. You need to prepare to answer that question, okay? Because sometimes the photos can be different. The photos, sometimes there's somebody who looks like me. There's this girl who is from South Africa. We look alike. Somebody told me, when I lose weight, now I've become Ubolo. So maybe now you can see the differences. When I lose weight, there was a time I lost weight, I was skinny. That girl and I, we look like sisters. Okay? So sometimes pictures and similarities are there. But I'm just saying that be able to answer that question. Why your name has changed. Why your date of birth has changed. Okay, you may still hold the documents. The documents will just be the support that will show that, hey, I'm still the same person. I'm still a Kifa. If tomorrow I've changed my name, do you know that when you want to change your name, you need to justify it? You need to justify it. In America, if you want to change your name, you need to justify it. It needs to be approved. Justify it. Why are you changing your name? Do you know that even the celebrities, when they want to change their name, they tell them, sometimes they tell them they will not let you do that. They will not let you pick certain names. Some of them have been like in the news. Somebody wanted to change and take some name, and they had to go to court, and the judge said that no, you cannot take this name. You cannot take this name. So you always have to justify. There has to be a basis for you changing your name. You cannot just get up and say, I've changed my name, I've changed my name. If you just get up and change your name, you should have your reason. There has to be a reason, okay? But guys, if y'all don't have any more questions, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to end the live video here. But guys, thank you so much for your time. As for the passport requirement, know that for me, I am still on the fence. I would say that if you can, get your passport, okay? Because State Department still has the grace period to publish that they need the passport on the application. The State Department they are still within the grace period, the 30 days. They still are within that grace period. And those of you who are be applying for the green card lottery in October, please be very careful about the information you put on there, okay? If your question does not, you come again on my question, I was left. I don't remember your question. You have to type your question again. When you apply for the green card lotto, please make sure that you are being truthful on the application. Truthful on the green card lottery application. Be truthful on there. Don't claim that you are not married when you are married. Don't claim that you are divorced when you are not legally. Legally. Court matter. It is not about family matters. It is court matter. In every country, when you're divorcing, sometimes, in Africa, and let me give Ghana for example, when people are divorcing, the family can do the divorce, but you still must go and register your divorce somewhere. Please talk to a lawyer in Ghana. If you're in Kenya, talk to a lawyer in Kenya about divorce. Like, hey, me and my husband or me and my wife, we got divorced. We did it in the house, family matters. But how do I get a proper divorce certificate now that the family has done this? I need to get a certificate that we have officially divorced. Let the lawyer, a divorce lawyer, advise you and tell you, oh, to get the proper divorce certificate, maybe since you people have already finished the thing, the family has already resolved, have done the dissolution of the marriage, then maybe you just need to go and apply here and get your divorce certificate. Or maybe you still need to bring it to court. Maybe you need to do this. Go through the proper channel and get a divorce certificate. If you don't have a divorce certificate, you are not divorced. And if you are not divorced and when you are filling the DV lottery, you must include your spouse on the application. If you go and say, I am divorced, and then let's say by the time you go for the interview, you have your divorce certificate, but they will be looking at it from when you apply for the lotto. They will say, by the time that you apply for the lottery, you said you were divorced, but the divorce certificate that you're holding here, the date is after the lottery. So you lied on your application. We cannot give you the visa. Let me tell you an interesting story. There was a story about one guy. He went for interview. His wife was pregnant, and when he was applying for the lottery, he put the baby's name on there. The baby that is not born yet too. Wife is pregnant. On the application form, you put the baby name there because people know the names they are going to give their children before they give birth to them. So he put the name and put his own picture. I was like, this thing that you were doing, didn't something click in your mind to tell you that this is a bad idea? You are filling your lottery application. your wife is pregnant, she hasn't delivered yet, then you go ahead and put the name of the baby. How do you know that the baby is going to be a boy or a girl? Even if you know the baby is not yet alive, you cannot include the baby that is unborn on the application. So the guy did this, and you know God, the guy won the lotto, went for interview, they have refused the visa. Because they're like, this thing that you did, it wasn't right. Like, what came to your mind to make you think that you should put an unborn baby, put the name that you're going to give to the baby on there, and put your own picture? The baby is not alive. So when you were even doing the thing, and you know you couldn't get the baby's photo, didn't something click your mind to tell you that, since I don't have a photo of the baby, maybe I shouldn't include the baby? So sometimes when you're doing certain things, please just sit down and think for a moment that this thing that I'm doing, does that even make sense? What is the logic behind it? Does it even make, does it make sense? Like, think about it. Before you do anything, if you think about it and you see, if somebody was doing this, I would say that, you were a fool. Then know that what you're doing is a foolish thing. If you're doing something, just remove yourself from the situation and look at it as if somebody is the one doing it. You're like, you're doing this. Hey, you're a fool for doing this. You're like, that means if I'm doing it, I'm a fool. I need to stop it. So sometimes that is how you need to think about things. Okay? But guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you for your time, for coming in. There are no more questions. But thank you so much for your time. This live video will be posted here, so you can later come and put your questions down. I'll take time to answer some of the questions when I come in. But guys, follow me on Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe, so that whenever I make a new video, you'll be alerted. You will know what is going on. Follow me on Facebook. Wofoi TV, the same name. I'm on TikTok, Ikia Wofoi. You can find me there. There, mostly I do my videos in Chi, my local language. So, but thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Please listen and heed to advice. Don't let an agent apply for you. Like I said, when registration is about to open, I'll give you guys some forms so that you can just download and go and use it for yourself. It is your practice form. And fill the information so that when the application time opens, you know that, okay, I need to put this. Okay, I will type this there. Okay, I will type this there. I will type this. And then you use it for yourself. It is not for me. It is just for you to use, all right? But guys, thank you so much for your time. Today, I'll be having a live video also on Facebook later today. I will see if I can do that. But guys, thank you so much for your time. I love you. God be with you, and y'all enjoy your weekend. All right, but subscribe on you can subscribe on Facebook. You can follow on Facebook. You can like on Facebook, please, so that when I make live videos there, that too you get notification. All right. Thank you so much, and y'all have a wonderful day. Bye bye.